Napoleon's campaigns too will be a grand strategy games with most of the usual elements of these kind of games. That is, first you will have a huge map of the theater of operations. This is mostly Europe, but we also added some overseas areas to give more depth in the game and possibilities of different strategies. So, big map, lot of regions, over 3,000 regions. Originally, the game was designed a few years ago by the studio as a set of different campaigns, each of them covering 1 year of the wars of Napoleon between 1805 and 1815. But something was missing in this product was that we didn't have a grand campaign, that is the possibility to play from the start in 1805 till the end, either victory or defeat of France. And so the purpose of Napoleon's campaign number 2 is to have the player enjoying the possibility to recreate this whole decade of warfare. Basically, we decided that we would be needed 2 kinds of resources, which is money and troops, or conscripts, recruits. And so globally, the map and the different territories you will be controlling will be giving you these kind of things. We added an extra dimension, especially on the money part, is that each region again produces money and conscripts. But in addition, we added ports, which produce economic resources in terms of money. And so we will represent a key element of this era, which was trade. So there will be a challenge in the game between one player trying to get a big monopoly all over Europe by force of arms or economic constraints, and the other players trying to make inroads into this fortress and cut some entries to get their economy and their strategy still, going. Because if at some point you just lose money, you just lose the opportunity to do anything. The idea we have in the design, which is kind of original, is that France can be kind of defeated, that it remains in the same borders like she starts with, but victory of the French will be victory of the Napoleonic family. If you manage to be still the emperor of France at the end of the game, or even better, like having some of your brothers and family on other countries as kings and different rulers, then you win, whatever happens. I mean, even if your country is half of the size of the beginning, because it means you have achieved victory in terms of legitimacy. Another very important factor, which is something every fan of Napoleon loves, is that the game shows over 1,200 different uniforms for the different armies of the time. So you can see a brigade of British riflemen will be totally different from German hussars or Russian Cossacks. Each has its own uniform, and even the uniforms will change over time. What they were wearing in 1805 was different from 1815. We also have, for example, regarding leaders, and the database of leaders is almost 2,000 characters. Nearly all of them, not all exactly, because we couldn't find source for everything, but most of them have their historical portraits. So we recreated them from historical paintings that you can see in big museums like the Louvre or Hermitage in St. Petersburg. And these portraits are in the game, so when you play with one of your generals, you see his face. And a lot of them start as a very low brigade general. And you will be in charge of choosing this general, putting them in command of starting small brigades or divisions. And then when they learn from the fights you will be handling, you will have the opportunity to promote them to higher ranks. Up to, at some point, you find the one you need to counter Napoleon, because Napoleon is a military genius and he's very hard to beat in the beginning. Usually when I play Napoleon games, I usually play everything but France. I like the challenge to be the underdogs initially. Okay, let's fight the big blue monster. I love this period where every single soldier looked different. They had these blue, red, brass, green, shiny uniforms. So you have this kind of Christmas tree aspect, which is kind of fun.